Well, welcome to Sticks and Politics. Alright, y'all. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be telling y'all I guess I'm going to be giving y'all some backstories on me. I'm going to share some of my stories, some of my life stories with y'all. Give y'all a little bit of insight on how I was raised and why my logic is the way that it is, and pretty much how I come to be. So what we're going to be talking about today is I'm going to share with y'all a story on how I started drinking. I currently do not drink now. I'm sober. 4 years sober. No, 6 years sober. Wow, it's been that long. But 6 years sober. We're going to be talking about the first time I found out that my grandfather made moonshine and knew popcorn Jim Sutton. And just whatever else comes up beyond that. But anyway, so how I first started drinking. So my grandfather raised me. I've made comments about my grandfather raising me in previous videos. So y'all may know that, and if you don't know that, he did. And how that came to be was my mama has always liked black men. And I know I'm kind of a white boy. But after my daddy, she never ever dated another light-skinned motherfucker ever again. So, needless to say, there was always that stepdaddy mentality growing up. So if any of y'all have had step-parents, you know how like step-parents and kids clash, especially men and boys. There's always that alpha dog syndrome going on in the house. Testosterone is a bitch. But anyway, so me and my mama's boyfriend, we clash. My daddy, me and my stepdad, we clash. And he ends up going to jail. Well, he ended up beating the fuck out of me. And he ended up going to jail. So my mama got pissed at me and I ended up homeless. So where I'm from is a small town, and my grandfather owned the bar of the town. So whenever I say the bar, it was the bar that everybody went to. But anyway, so I'm homeless. And I'm still going to school. I'm going to friends' houses and stuff. And I'm taking showers there. I'm eating with friends' houses. I'm not spending the night with nobody because I don't want nobody to know that I'm homeless. You know what I'm saying? I tell them I got to use the bathroom. And I do the whore bath thing, bro. But you know what I'm saying? Like I'm actually cleaning myself, dog. I wasn't a nasty kid. But, and I was living under the bridge. So it gets back to my grandfather that I'm living under a bridge and shit. And my grandfather, he's a very, very prideful man. Pride was a huge, huge deal for my grandfather. In fact, pride was worth dying for to my grandfather. So it gets back that his grandson's homeless and that he's living under a bridge. And apparently one of my friend's daddies kind of put two and two together that, yeah, motherfucker, you coming around my house a lot. I hear you in my bathroom. You all the time eating food here. So yeah, there's something going on. So apparently he followed me and found out that I was living under a bridge. Like I actually had a whole get up under the bridge, bro. Like I had a tent. I had me a nice ass little bed up in there and shit. Damn. It just sounds bad, but fuck, man, it was just reality. To be 11 years old and to be on your own and to be homeless, man, that motherfucker, I had my shit together, B. Like, I don't give a fuck what nobody says, man. I had my shit together. I wasn't cold. It wasn't no shit like that. But anyway, like, I'm getting my shit together for the night because, you know, just if you don't get your shit together whenever you're homeless before nighttime comes, you're going to pay for that shit. And there was a couple of nights whenever I first started doing the homeless thing that I was fucking cold, bro. But I figured that shit out real quick. I was smart yet whenever I was young. This new generation ain't got shit on my generation. But anyway, so my grandpa, he finds out where I'm at, and he comes. And I hear someone coming around the bridge, like coming down up underneath it, and nobody ever comes up underneath there. So it's like, oh, dude, I'm scared as shit, man. I'm thinking, oh, fuck, this could be somebody who's gonna rob me or something. I hope I don't get raped or some shit. Like I'm thinking some wild ass shit, man. Because I had a hard upbringing, man. So I always thought negative shit. So I was scared as shit. And my grandpa comes around the corner. He said, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I stuttered. I was like, I'm nothing, Papa, nothing. And I lied. I think I told him I was getting ready to go fishing. And he said, "Why the fuck are you goddamn homeless?" And I was like, and I couldn't come up with nothing. He started calling my mom all kind of whores, in-loving whore. I'm just going to say a nigger-loving whore. I mean, my daddy a drug-dealing ass fucking piece of shit. He told me he told me to get my shit and get the fuck in the car. So I go to grab my stuff, thinking because he said, get your shit and get in the car. He's like, man, leave that fucking trash there and get the fuck in the car. So I grabbed the clothes that I actually like, that I have, and I go to get in the car, and the whole way there, he's like, he's talking shit to me, and talking shit about my mama. And my daddy didn't really bother me because I didn't really know my daddy. I never met my daddy until I was 14, so that was neither here nor there. But it bothered me that he was talking about my mama. Because even though me and my mama had a fucked up relationship, still your mama, you know what I mean? That's your mama. I was like Tupac whenever I thought about my mama. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he's sitting there talking about how this is his golden years. He shouldn't be having to raise a fucking kid. It's embarrassing as fuck that his grandson is living under a fucking bridge like common white trash. And he's hearing about it at his fucking work. So I moved in with my grandpa. And so my grandfather was racist. So I can't lie about that. My grandfather was racist. Fuck, man. All he did was talk shit about my mama. I hated it. He talked, yeah, that shit bothers me, man. But he constantly talked shit to me. At the time, I didn't think he was abusive. I thought it was because I was bad and I was acting up all the time. I thought it was just I thought I was just getting disciplined, but the way he disciplined wasn't discipline. And so whenever we would go to, it was me, Bobby, Troy, and Jason. My older brother Jason, not my younger brother Jason, but it was me, Bobby, Troy, and Jason. And Bobby was the oldest, Troy was second, Jason was the middle, and I was the youngest. And of the bunch. And those were my brothers, because my grandfather was married to a woman named Dolly. And those are her kids. And she was the one who adopted me, because my grandfather didn't adopt me. He said that shit was weird. And that I wasn't his son, and he didn't owe me that. So he wouldn't adopt me. So my mama Dolly, she adopted me. And Jason, Troy, and Bobby became my brothers. And but anyway, my grandpa, there was this one instance. It was the 5th grade. I was going into 6th grade. This was the ending of 5th grade year. My teacher told me that I was failing math. And I was like, fuck, man. If my grandpa finds out, he's going to beat my ass. And my grandfather, how he would whoop your ass, it was you drop your pants, you drop your trousers, and you bend over and grab your ankles. If you let go of your ankle, it was an extra hit. You had to hold your ankles the whole time you was getting your ass whooped. Or he didn't stop until you constantly held your ankles throughout his whatever he had in his mind, whatever number he had in his mind that he was going to hit you that many times. If you didn't hold your ankles that many times throughout the whole entire thing, he waited until you actually held your ankles until he got done with his number. But anyway, so she tells me that I'm failing math. So I'm like, okay, I got to figure this out. I'm telling you, I was a smart kid. I was a well-planned individual growing up before my brain injury. And so I was like, okay, so the principal is always at lunchtime, always in the cafeteria at lunchtime. So I'm gonna go to his office at lunchtime, right before lunchtime hits. I'm gonna go to his office. I'm gonna get sent to the office. So I cuss in class and do some stupid shit and get sent to the office right before lunch. And whenever you walk into the office, they had the double doors opened up. You'd walk into the office, they had chairs sitting here and chairs sitting here on both sides of the wall right there as soon as you walk into the office, and the desk was sitting into the front. So I go up to the desk and she was like, Are you Joshua Cook? I said, yes, ma'am. And she's like, all right, go to the principal's office. So you take a right there in front of the fucking desk, and you go and you open up the door, and there's a hallway to your left. Principal's office, third door on the left. He had a chair right outside of his office. She told me to sit in that chair and wait for the principal. So I go down there, I sit in the chair. Man, I didn't even wait 2 minutes, man. And I look around, make sure ain't nobody coming, and I go into his office, and I start looking through his desk. And man, it just so happened, man, the first drawer I opened up, there was a sticky note. It said password, daily password. So I write down the daily password, and I go back out and I sit down. And the principal comes at the end of lunch. I didn't get lunch that day. I got a little shitty sandwich in a bag. So the principal informs me that I'm going to have after school detention. I'm like, okay. ASS, I got this. I can do ass for a day. I can do ass. No, it was ASD, after school detention. But anyway, so I do after school detention, and I go to the bathroom. So I'm sitting here and I'm waiting in the bathroom. All the lights cut off, except for like the few lights. I don't know why they had it where a few lights was on, but most of them were off. But anyway, it did that, and I knew immediately everybody had left. What I did not know is that in a government fucking building, anytime you open up a goddamn door, it sets off a silent alarm. I did not fucking know that. I was not that well thought out. But anyway, so I go to the principal's office, and I open up the two doors. The door before his office and the door at his office sets off the alarm. But I don't know this yet. So I go in there and I type the password. And it's remembered his name, his like sign-in name or whatever. I type in the password to the computer and it logs into the computer. I'm like, oh yeah. So I figure out how to get to the grades. And it's in folders of the teachers' names and stuff. So I go and I find my teacher's folder, and I go into her folder, and she has another individual folder that has all the students' grades. So I go in there and I find me, and I'm changing my grade, man. And I was like, I can't set it up too high. I'm gonna set it up to a C. She won't suspect a C. She might think that I brought it up if she catches on to it. But my grandpa, he'll be satisfied with a C. And I'm logging out. And as soon as I'm logging out, the door opens. Fuck. It's the police. It was an older cop and a younger cop. A rookie cop. And this dude, he was a rookie. Looking back on it now, I could tell. Because I've been through it. But he was a rookie. And they put me in handcuffs and they set me down. And they're like, all right, so who's your parent or guardian? And I told him Shorty Cook. And as soon as I said Shorty Cook, the older officer, his head went down. I guess he was friends with my grandpa or something. I don't know. But his head went down. And he told the younger cop to take the handcuffs off of me. The younger cop's like, why? This is hacking into a government computer. I mean, he was naming off like charges, man. Like, he was scared the fuck out of me, dude, because I did not know it was all that. I'm like, bro, I just typed the fucking password. I had a password. It's okay. I didn't know it was all that. But he named off all these things. He was like, trust me. He told the rookie, he said, trust me, he's going to pay for it when his grandfather gets here. He knew my grandfather. So anyway, they called my grandpa, and he takes off the handcuffs, and I'm sitting there waiting. Man, I'm like, I'm pissing my pants, bro, because I know what's coming. I'm fucked. And I hear the door open up. And my grandpa's mumbling to himself. My grandpa's got this thing where he would talk to himself whenever he was pissed. That's how you knew you were fucked. because he would be talking to himself before he would even arrive, or you knew he was mad at somebody or something had happened. So he swings the door open to the office, and he looks over at me like this right here and just backhands the shit out of me. I mean, whenever I say he actually hit me hard enough to where it lifted me up and threw me into the wall, like actually picked me up into the wall, that's how fucking hard he hit me, because he caught me right here with the back. I mean, that shit hit me hard, bro. I mean, it went like that right there and just picked me up. Fucked me up. And the younger cop, I'd seen the younger cop move forward, and the older cop like hit him in the chest like this, like put his arm out like that and hit him in the fucking chest. Like, no. That's another story. I'll tell you why. That because my grandpa is a violent man. But he told me to get, my grandfather looked at me and said, you get your fucking retarded ass, you get the fuck in the car right now. I'm fucked. So I'm walking out, and I don't even get to the fucking door to leave to school. I hear my grandfather screaming. Calling me all kinds of stupid motherfucking pieces of shit and all this other bullshit, promising that I am going to pay. I paid. But anyway, we get to the house, and he said, go to my room, bend over and grab your fucking ankles. And he whooped my ass, man. And this was the worst whooping he had ever given me. This one right here, this is the whooping I remember. If you've ever had your ass beat by your parents and you got your ass whooped on the regular, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. There's that one whooping that you remember over anything. But so I bend over and I grab my ankles, dude. He beat the shit out of me, bro. I mean, this sucked, bro. I mean, fuck, it sucked. But whenever he got done, and I went to go leave his room, I looked back at the bed. There had been blood that had trickled down my feet, down my legs, and like around the back of my foot. It actually formed a horseshoe where the bottom of my foot was, around this part of my foot, where blood, it looked like a U, like a fucked up U for each foot. That's how bad that motherfucker whooped my ass. He beat the purity shit out of me. But mind you, the only reason I did all this shit, and I had planned and thought it out and made all this fucking effort, was to avoid getting an ass whooping in the first fucking place. I think I should have got a good grade for the effort that I put into the whole situation. Fuck. But anyway, so that was that situation. As far as me and my first drink, whenever me, Bobby, and Troy and Jason, whenever we'd all get off at the bus, we'd play basketball, or we'd ride our dirt bike around the house until Grandpa would come pick us up, because he'd come pick us up and we'd go to the bar. And we'd stay at the bar until about 2 or 3 in the morning when our Papa closed it down, and he'd take us back to the house, and we'd all be asleep by then. They'd put us in bed, and whatever the fuck they did. I mean, yeah, they put us in bed. But we would go there. Whenever we'd get to the bar, the first thing he'd have us do is he'd say, go do your fucking homework, don't do nothing else. My grandfather, he sold these little mini bottles of liquor. And I had the genius idea that every time I go do my homework, Bobby, Troy, and Jason always got done with their homework first, because they was older, they're a little bit smarter than I was, and I guess, yeah, they fucking retarded. They were just writing shit down, man. They're just getting it done to get it done. But they'd get done, and they'd go shoot pool, or they'd go play the jukebox, or play the poker machine. Whatever it is that they wanted to do, they would go do. And so I would go, and I'd take 3 or 4 bottles of liquor. Just 3 or 4, maybe 3. I think I was doing 3 most of it, because at first I started with just 2 to see if I would get caught. Papa didn't notice it, then I started doing 3. I was like, I could get 1 more. I could sneak 1 more. And I did this every day. And on Fridays and Saturdays, we was able to stay at the house instead of going to having to go to the bar, because we had the next day free to be able to, because you know what I mean, we could play and do what we want to. We didn't have to go to school tomorrow, is what I mean. So we was able to do what we wanted. And I had a kid that lived down the road from me. It was the England brothers, Matthew and Michael. And we would go out, me, Bobby, and Jason, because Troy wasn't doing this yet. He wasn't thinking about it. Troy's kind of the snitch. Snitch bitch Ben. But we'd go back there and we'd get to drinking. And we'd drink those bottles of liquor that I'd stored up. Because there was this old haunted, like barn type thing. It really wasn't a barn. It was like a shed for horses. It was out behind our house in the woods a good ways. And we'd get drunk, dude. We'd get fucked up, man. We'd get trashed. And we'd ask if our boys could stay tonight. And Papa would be like, yeah, they could stay tonight. And I'd always say, you want us to go check with their parents to see if it's okay with them? Grandpa would always say, no, I'll go do that myself. Y'all go do what y'all do. Go play. And fucking, so it was me, and it wasn't Michael or Matthew, but it was some other kid but we was actually back there and we was drinking. It was a Friday night, and I heard the leaves rustling. Like someone's walking up. And I got, like, I've been doing this, man. Been grabbing bottles every day for, I think, like 3 months now. It was a while, man, because I done built up quite the stock of bottles for where we'd go out and drink Friday and Saturday night. And it was Pawpaw. He come around the big ass fucking oak tree. He was like, so what the fuck you doing, Cracker Jack? I said, nothing, Pawpaw, nothing. He was like, what you covering up with leaves? I was like, just drinks, Pawpaw. He was like, you been stealing my liquor, ain't you? I was like, I'm sorry, Pawpaw, I just took a couple. He was like, nah, the fuck you didn't. He walked over and he kicked the pile. There was a lot of bottles. He was like, God damn, boy. You know, if you wanted to drink, you could have asked me, and I would have give you a little bit. I probably wouldn't have give you that goddamn much, but I would have give you a little fucking bit. And I was like, I'm sorry, Papa. Did Bobby tell on me? Did Troy tell on me? He said, no, I work with drunk people, motherfucker. You don't think I realized whenever there was a drunk kid coming to my fucking house? He's like, why the fuck don't you think I ever let him call his mama? Or go to his mama's house to ask if he could spend the night. I always drove my dumb ass down to his house. You think I thought that shit was fun? You think I think his mama's attractive or some shit? No, his mama kind of ugly. I was like, motherfucker. But that was pretty much that was that whole situation. So drinking was always kind of a thing for me growing up in a fucking bar that was owned by the Hells Angels. It wasn't really owned. My grandfather owned it, but by owned by the Hells Angels, what I mean by that is that was a bar. That was the bar that the Hells Angels went at. Southern Gentlemen or whatever the fucking any other biker gang was, they wasn't allowed in that bar. That was a Hells Angel spot. But anyway, growing up in an environment like that, you know, I had a particular way of seeing things. But anyway, so fast forward a few years, and this is whenever I first meet my dad for the first time, because my grandfather was like, you know, I've been raising you for about 5 years now, or 3 years now, and it's about time that I think you go see your daddy. And I was like, oh, what? I'm going to go see my daddy. Dude, I get excited, man. I'm like 14, 15 years old. Can't remember exactly what age it was. Y'all got to remember I have brain injury and memory loss, so I'm going off a lot of this that I'm remembering through, like cutscenes and shit in my memory. But So, like, I get all excited because I'm like, oh, shit, I'm about to meet my dad for the first time, man. This is going to be dope. I'm going to ask him so much, man. Like, where'd you go? What happened? Did mama run you off? Did did you did mama cheat on you with one of her with her black boyfriend that she got now, my stepdad? Did she do that? Is that what happened? Is that why you left? Did you not like me or something? Did I do something wrong? Like I had a lot of questions, man. I'm being honest with y'all on what my logic was and why why was the question that I really had on my mind. Why? And so me and my grandpa, we get in the car and we drive up there. And Jason, he actually rides with us. Jason's the next to the youngest. He's like 2 years older than me. But so Jason rides with, and we finally get up to my dad's house. And I go and I knock up to the door. And this is, man, a little shitty ass brown house, man. And honestly, dude, that shit look like a goddamn drug shack. I ain't even gonna lie, dude. That shit look like a fucking drug shack. But so I knock on the door, man. I'm excited, dude. Sorry, try them out. But I'm excited, dude. And my dad, he opens up the door and he's got this box in his hand and he immediately shoves it in my chest. You know, like someone hands you a box that you gotta like actually open up your arms to grab and hold. And it was a Nintendo 64 and like 9 or 10 games. I think Mario Kart was in there, GoldenEye was in there. It had a few good games. But anyway, is what he said. As soon as he shoved it in my hand, he said, I never want to see you again because the best part of you ran down the crack of your mama's ass while I was beating her pussy. Believe me, I was there. And then he slams the door. So I go to the car and I tell my grandpa's like, so what? He say he didn't want to see you? I say, yeah. I didn't understand what he meant whenever he said that. What he said to me at the time. Yeah, I have a son now. I don't know exactly what happened between him and my mama. But whatever it was, I can't really ever justify in my mind me telling my son that, you know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna lie, dude, whenever he told me that shit, that kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. Because I was excited to see him. You know, whenever my son was born, I called him up and I tried talking to him because me and my dad, we still don't have a good relationship. And I tried talking to him and shit. I was like, "Hey man, you wanna come by here and see your grandson shit? Because I don't want him growing up the way I grew up. I don't want the world making him angry and bitter like it did me. You know what I mean? Yeah, I actually want him to have some type of relationship with his family and stuff like that." And my dad was like, "What, your mama not hug you enough? Is that the reason why you getting all emotional with me now and shit?" And I kind of lost it on him. And I got pissed. And I was like, pretty much told him to go fuck himself. Because my dad, he's kind of got money. Whenever I say he's kind of got money, no, my dad's got money. Like, he's got a lot of fucking money. It's ridiculous, dude. Like, my dad was, all right, so for instance, whenever I say my dad's got money, you know those fucking cranes that they use on construction sites to build gigantic fucking cranes whenever they're building big old tall buildings and shit? Yeah, my daddy was bragging that he bought 6 of those. Along with $1.2 million worth of other equipment and shit. But he had to buy all that in a week. So anyway, I get pissed because I'm like, bro, you know what? All I wanted you to do was be in my son's life because you are his grandfather. And I'm perfectly cool with you not doing fucking shit for me. But I am going to tell you this one motherfucking thing. Because my dad, he's married. And he's got whenever he got his new wife, he got a new family. So that her family pretty much became his family. And he said, fuck his family. But I was like, you can put my son rolling because I don't want dick from you. I don't need dick from you. I made it myself. I live in a fucking big ass goddamn house because I put myself in a big ass goddamn house. I live in a big ass goddamn house because I work my ass off to pay the motherfucking bills in my big ass goddamn house. I do my shit myself. I handle my shit myself. But one thing you're not going to do is you're going to exclude my son from something that my grandfather built. Because how my daddy gets his money is a construction company that my grandfather established. So I was like, whenever you die, if you do not leave my son in that will and you do not give him what he is entitled to because he is a cook and cook is on the fucking company door, then I will tie your wife up in legals and they won't see nothing. I will use the money that I get from the VA to pay my lawyers to constantly keep the legality going up until I get what the fuck is mine and my son gets what the fuck is his, because we're your blood and they're not your fucking blood. But man, I flipped on them, dude. I was mad as fuck. Just pretty much like I legit told him that if you're not going to be around and you're not going to love my son and you're not going to fucking be a grandfather, you're not going to be a family member, then you could be a fucking wallet. I don't give a fuck which one you are. And either or, it ain't going to fucking bother me. It'll bother my son a little bit, but he'll get the fuck over it whenever he has your money. Fact of fucking life. My son has me. Fuck you. But anyway, that's that. So this has been a long video. I'm gonna go ahead and end this now. I hope y'all click like. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Sticks and Politics out. Thank y'all very much.